All right, so we have 300 and fuel. What time is it? 14:23. It's about quarter tank, so yeah. All right, another day. I'm not sure how loud the ocean is. It's quite a high tide. But anyways, welcome to today's video. So today's one of those videos that I'm making just based on my experience with the car. All right, so when we bought this BMW, that was a year or 2 years ago. It was sitting at 166,000 kilometers. This was the first high mileage car I bought. My previous Polo, the Polo GTI, was sitting at 67,000. It was very, very fresh. But this one was a different story. So this is a 2013 model, right? And right now we're in 2026. So this car is pretty much 13 years old. And I'm sure for that duration of 13 years, it's been on the road. So there's like physical damage, which usually you can inspect with your own eyes, but there are things that the previous owner might have done to the car that you are not aware of. And then there is mechanical damage, which is the biggest problem, right? So when we're buying second-hand cars, we tend to focus on the mechanical side of things. Check if, is the car running well? What does the decal report say? Let me get a mechanic, let me run diagnostics. And then we tend to ignore the physical side of things, which is a lesson that I learned firsthand with this car. So pretty much the way I've summed it up for my car is there's 3 categories to be concerned about. A is the physical part of the car, which being your paint, mirrors, tires, like things like that. 2, you have mechanical damage / wear and tear. And then number 3, you have hidden damage or hidden things that you don't know. So let's go through this BM just to give you guys an example of what I mean. All right, so here she is. When I bought this car, the physical damage I knew about because you could just see it, like the lights, right? And then there was the bumper, like the bumper you see it went through some stuff. There was also this scratch here. And then inside, interior was fine, but there were this stuff that were like the wear and tear. And then the mirror was my fault, as well as the windshield was my fault. So if you take a look at the back of the car, right? One thing that I also knew was that this doesn't work, like it doesn't press. I just need to replace it. And then there was a boot light. This I didn't know about. It just didn't light. I was like, I'll replace it. But I think this thing got broken. Anyways, yeah. But like these are small things, right? These are things where I was like, I can quickly replace, I don't need to worry about. As time goes, I'll solve A, B, C. Now here's the funny thing. As time goes, more and more things start to show up, especially given the age of the car, right? So when I bought the car 2 years back, if you guys remember, I was like, yeah, we'll repaint the bumper, like, we'll get new rims, we'll do X, Y, Z. But during the process of me owning the car, there are things that have been progressively getting worse that I now need to attend to. Anyway, so that's pretty much like the state of the car. I bought it like this 2 years back. It's pretty much still like that because apart from the physical damage that you can live with is the mechanical side, right? Okay, so we're jumping to the mechanical side of things, right? Apart from the obvious stuff which can be like, I need to do this maintenance, because the car has been running for like 200,000 kilometers, 100,000 kilometers or so, it means that the plastic components have now started going down one by one. Now this is a hidden cost about owning a high mileage car that I did not see coming. So in my head I was like, hey, I'll just do preventative maintenance. We'll change the charge pipe from plastic to metal and then we'll be good. The car should be good for another 100,000 kilometers, 200,000 kilometers maybe. That's not the case. So let me just list it down for you guys. Since buying the car, apart from the engine work, which we knew about, there was a charge pipe issue. which was a hidden cost from the previous owner, by the way. So pretty much every hose that transfers hot water is crumbling one by one, and it's becoming so much work to live with. So like what I mean is, after the overhaul, I picked up the car and then I went to this other place called BM Parts. I wanted to like replace the interior dash panels. When I get there, car starts leaking coolant out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did something happen with the overhaul? Anyways, and then while we were there, we looked at it, we found that the coolant return hose had like a on it. So those are things that have been going out one by one. So I had to replace the up radiator hose, the top radiator hose. I've now replaced the coolant one. I've now replaced the coolant return line. I now need to replace the thermostat hose, because like pretty much to put it into cost, I decided I need to replumb the whole car because all these brittle hoses have kind of reached their end of life and they're going out one by one. Now that's just one part of things, right? Other than that, I had to replace the thermostat on the car, and then I replaced the water pump. The water pump, it was my problem, but it was going out. And what else? Oh, the wiring as well. Wiring gets old, so the O2 sensor on the car went out. We replaced it after we bought the car. It's going out again. I saw a fault code for that. Like other than that, there are things on the car that break due to age, right? So for BMW, those of you who know, there is the clip that holds your brake line. When that clip is made of plastic, after a while the plastic gives out, it falls on top of your drive shaft and it starts making a noise. So it's things like that for a brand new car, all these things are new. They won't be a problem for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But from there on, you'll now need to start replacing them one by one. All right, now let's go to the annoying one. So this is number 3. So number 3 is the hidden part of things. So because this car was owned by a person, there are things that break on the car and then the previous owner kind of patch things up, right? I've done it on my cars before. Maybe something small breaks, you just put glue on it, stuff like that. So right now I don't have a rear view mirror. As much as the windshield is broken when I hit the pothole back home, that fell off before I hit the pothole. So the previous owner just kind of put some sort of a glue here, and then they put it's like an auto dimming mirror. It's very cool, I won't lie, but they just put glue on it and get it to sit there. As the glue gets old and gets hit by heat, it just falls off, right? If we go to the front of the car, this is not visible at all until you remove your bumper. But these panels, they're not properly clipped in, so like the vents for moving the air inside are not there at all. So you can just see through. Like if you look at, I'm not sure, is it coming through? If you look at here, I can actually just do this and you can see the fingers there. Like those are things where the owner, maybe for selling purposes, they just made this look good, but underneath the car, things are messed up. Like same goes for the weird little lights that keep going out one by one. I just thought that they just got some lights, got the lights to work, and that's pretty much it. Now, if we go to the back, there are videos that I lost when I was preparing to drive back home. I replaced all my rear lights. Now, this is broken. I didn't know about it until now. If I pull it properly, there we go, it's gonna come out. It doesn't hook anymore, the clips are broken, so I need to buy a new one. I thought it was just the bulb, but I need to replace this whole thing. And then in here, these guys did something which pissed me off. There's a bit of wiring magic that's happening behind this light. So either this car was in an accident somewhere here, and then they just patched it up, or the lights went out and then they tried some weird stuff to patch things up. But yes, that is damage that I did not know about. So for this thing, by the way, there we go. Sitting nice. Well, not nice, but you get what I mean. Like these are things that they just started springing up a year later after owning the car. Now, other than that, as much as I'm owning the car, I'm trying to improve it, right? Like there's damage which is my fault, like the windshield. And then when I was replacing this, I broke this. Now remember, these things are adding to the existing things on the car. Oh, like it's... So believe it or not, I did not cover everything that is wear and tear or like the consequences of the previous owners on this car. Like I have areas in the car which have like smoke dots. Like there was one owner on this car who used to smoke a lot. and now like the trim at the top is dirty. I need to get it washed, or I need to replace it. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I don't exactly know, but I will get to it. That's the whole point of owning a high mileage car. Yeah, but pretty much you are gonna need like a checklist of things to repair, maintain, or upgrade. Just understand the consequences that comes with buying a high mileage car, that the components have gone through the high mileage. Take me back to the same situation when I discovered this car and only remove my engine block cracking. I will still genuinely buy this car. Like, it's a fun car. I can change anything I want. That's the whole point of the car being in this state, right? Like, I can repaint it. Okay, not repaint it, but I can do a paint polish. We can redo the seats. Pretty much, it's my car, if that makes sense. And that's the whole point of this. But yeah, I hope this video does not stop you from buying a high mileage car. If anything, please do go and buy that high mileage car / that old car. There's a feeling about owning a high mileage car, an old car, that gives you a sense of, this is mine. Like, I can do whatever I want with it. I don't know how to explain it, but like, there's a feeling that anything I want, I can do. Like on my car, right? I'm thinking of just putting like the whole top Alcantara. I want to change the trims. Like, it's mine, if that makes sense. But yeah, buy that car. Buy it. There's that saying I love: you cannot drive a savings account, but you can drive a car. Buy that car.